अपदामपहत्तारं दातारं सर्वसंपदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। We have started Bhagavad Gita. We are on the last day with the last two chapters. We have to study the introductory slokas before we chant the Bhagavad Gita and concluding slokas after we finish the Bhagavad Gita. Let me again Gita Prarthana. पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितं पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्धदामि सततं भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणि वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिरुज्जानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भावयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। गीताया पुस्तकं यत्र यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै यत्र गीताविचारच्च पठनं श्रुतं तत्राहं निश्चित पृथिवी निवसामि सदैव हि। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो dogdha gopalanandana. All the Upanishads take the form of a cow, and the person who is milking is Gopalanandana, Krishna. And Partho Vatsaha, the calf that first tastes this milk, is Arjuna. And what is the milk? Gita Amritam Mahat. Gita Amritam is the milk. Look at the name of this chapter, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha, focus, concentration, commitment. Adanalada, what we do for our ancestors is called Shraddham. Annigavadu we should do with concentration and focus. Shraddhaya Pandradhanala, adiki Shraddham and Peru. Midi Allame, whatever we do, maybe we are doing with Shraddha, but that alone is called Shraddham because that is where you need to totally concentrate Tana, Man, Dhan. With all your faculties, you have to subdue yourself on that day. So, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga has 28 slokas, and the last chapter 18 is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga is 78 verses. So about 1/7 of the Bhagavad Gita is in these two chapters. Now in the last chapter, in the 16th chapter, Sri Krishna concluded the chapter. I told you 15 and 16 chapters are very unique chapters because there is no questions by Arjuna there, there is no intervention by Sanjaya or anybody. They are totally, completely, wholly, fully given only by Krishna, uninterrupted flow of the Jagat Guru. And at the end he says there are three gateways for Narakam. Kamam, Kamaha, Krodaha, Tadha, Lobha, Trividham Narakasya Dwaram. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥ ಪುರಿಯ ಚಲುಗ ತ್ರಿವಿಧಂ ನರಕಸ್ಯ ದ್ವಾರಂ ಕಾಮಃ ಕ್ರೋಧಃ ಲೋಭ ಇದಲೇನ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಈಸ್ ವೆದರ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ದ್ವಾರಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ನೌ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ that he says, and those who drop these three kama krodha and lobha, then they will be liberated. But if you have a doubt in anything that you do, if you are in a conflict or a confusion or a doubt or a dilemma, what is the source of reference? He says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante. எந்த டவுட் வந்தாலும் there are scriptures. தஸ்மாத் சாஸ்திரம் பிரமாணத்தை. which shastram is pramanam? Bhagavad Gita is pramanam. Why Bhagavad Gita is the supreme shastram? Because we at every end of the chapter we say iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna. So because of these 5 different components, this is supreme shastra because it is the essence of every Upanishad, the essence of all the Yoga Shastras, essence of all Brahma Vidya, essence of all scriptures. So if you have a doubt, refer to Shastra. Now Arjuna has a wonderful question. This chapter 17 begins with that question. Questions can be asked only when you have Shraddha, when you understand at least partially. When you don't understand, you will not question because you don't know how to ask a question. You are not eligible to ask a question. Now Arjuna asks a question. Very wonderful question. He says, if suppose people who don't know Shastram and have Shraddha, now 99% of us belong to that category. We don't know Shastram, we have Shraddha. So what happens to those people? Will they get liberated or will they not get liberated? Should Shastram be imperative? That is the question he asks. Ye Shastravidi Mutsujya Yajante Shraddhayanvita Yasham Nishtatu Ka Krishna Sattvam Maho Rajaha Tamaha. Do they fall under these 3 categories of Sattva, Raja and Tama? Chapter 15 onwards, 14 onwards, we are talking about these 3 characteristics. These are temperaments. Sattvam is a temperament which is tranquility. Rajas is a temperament which is passionate. Tamas is a temperament which is ignorance and dullness, sleep and fight and quarrel. So these are the characteristics. So these people who do not have Shraddha, who do not have Shastra knowledge and only have Shraddha, what will happen to them? And Krishna, please understand that Krishna is a Jagat Guru. And Arjuna is neither an ordinary student and Krishna is not an ordinary teacher either. So the questions he asked are very wonderful questions. And the answers, sometimes the questions are simple, answers are seemingly complicated. Sometimes the questions are highly complicated and Krishna, because he is a Jagat Guru, he gives a very simple answer. Now look at this wonderful thing, that instead of giving a direct answer to this simple question, he gives a seemingly complicated answer. He says Shraddha is 3 kinds. Shraddha is 3 kinds. He says, it's because Bhagavad Gita is a very scientific scripture. It is a structured science and there is a consistency and a continuity in the flow of thought. So chapter 14 talks about Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, and we all know these are the 3 qualities, the 3 different kinds of temperament. All of us are different permutations and combinations of these 3 temperaments. At a given point of time you may be a very wonderful man, at another point of time you may be a devil that you hate yourself. So these are the kind of qualities. Now Shastra Shraddha, he says there are 3 kinds of Shraddha. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, the very name suggests there are 3 kinds of Shraddha. Sattvika Shraddha, Rajasika Shraddha and Tamasika Shraddha. People who have Shraddha, who are Sattvika by nature, their concentration, their focus, their Shraddha is one kind. People who are Rajasic by nature, passionate, their Shraddha is different. People who are Tamasa, ignorant, dull, their Shraddha is different. All of them have Shraddha. And their Shraddha is different. But why should we talk about Shraddha? Please understand, Krishna is called Yogeshwara. And this Bhagavad Gita is called Yoga Shastra. Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. And Patanjali in Yoga Shastra, in the very first sentence says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Arresting the activity of mind is called yoga. Now, arresting the activity of mind is not just enough. Arrest it and focus it, channelize it in a different direction. That is what Sri Krishna says. And Sattvika Shraddha, people with Sattvika Shraddha, he says, worship gods. People with Rajasika Shraddha worship Rakshasas. People with Tamasika Shraddha worship Pishachas. That's what he says. Now all of us worship only gods, so are we all Sattvika? our tendency within ourselves is Rakshasa or Paishachika, then our worship of gods also turns out to be that. That is the reflection. Now instead of saying direct answer, he says it depends on 4 different components. Shraddha is molded by 4 different components. The first one is ahara, the food that you take makes what you are. Romba spicy food venum. While eating it is so delicious. Afterwards it's so problematic. And so ahara is also sattva ahara, sattvika ahara, rajasika ahara and tamasika ahara. And see how very beautifully he defines. He does not want to insult or comment or criticize anybody who follows a particular kind of food habits. He does not say vegetarianism is good or non-vegetarian is bad. What he says is, Ayuhu sattva bala arogya sukhapriti vivardhana rasyaha snigdhaha or sattvika priyaha. That means food that is increases lifespan, food that is pure, which gives strength, health and joy, which is pleasant, is sattvika ahara. Now it depends on you. What is sattvika ahara for you? For you something that I may not like may be very sattvika for you because that looks pleasant. And then he says, Katu amla lavana achyustna atikshna ruksha vidahina. That kind of a food is ahara. And dukkha shokamaya pradaha. If you eat that, you will get into dukkha and shokamata. So rajasa aharam, according to this, the food that stays for long without preservation is sattvika ahara. Food that is embedded with preservatives is called rajasika ahara. Food that is left over, food that is, he says food that is sour, saline, too hot, pungent, refuse, impure, is called tamasika ahara. So he divides food. And then he says, not just the food, the yajna and dana of each one of us, the kind of sacrifice or ritual that we perform, or the karma that we perform. In fact, don't take yajna as Vedic ritual. Whatever we do, if we do with apalakanksha, without aspiring for the result, that is sattvika yajna. With desire for result is rajasika yajna. And mantrahinam vidhihinam is tamasika. It destroys himself, it destroys others. That kind of an activity is called tamasa yajna. And then he talks about tapas. Tapas, before he talks about, all of us do tapas. Tapas is meditation. Tapas is concentration. Tapas is burning actually. The word tapa means to burn. And so, Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam. What is tapas? First he defines. Worshipping the gods, teachers and the wise, purity, straightforwardness, celibacy, ahimsa is called tapas. And also speaking with no excitement, with truthfulness, pleasantness, practice and study of Vedas constitute tapas. Deva Dvija Guru Pujanam, Brahmacharyam, ahimsa, Shaucham, Arjavam, Anudvegakaram Vakyam, Prihitam, Swadhyayam, Abhyasa. These are the qualities of tapas. Now, those who are sattvikas will do anything that they do with concentration. Shraddhaya, Paraya, Taptam is sattvika. And Rajasika people also do. There are lots of people who perform rituals, very pomp show, and for the sake of show. How many people have come? What kind of dress I am wearing? Are they looking at me or they are not looking at me? Is there my photograph in the papers tomorrow morning? TV lo na pandadella vandittu irukka illiya? This is Rajasika. Dambhamanam Satkaramana Pujardam Dambhena Kriyate, that is Rajas. And then Pidaya Kriyate, one who does, inflicts, imposes violence on himself and violence on others for doing something. You take your tongue and put something through the tongue, the folk religious activities, or put hooks on your body behind, walking on the fire, they are called tamasika. They may be superstitious, they may be dogmatic fallacies, you may find a lot of devotion in it, but it creates pain to others, pain to himself. So that's called tamasika, he says. And then he talks about danam also. How danam is given also decides your shraddha. When people give danam, datavyamiti danam yat danam diyate deshe kale cha patre cha tat danam satvikam. For a deserving person, and you must give, and not for publicity, that danam is called satvikam. And you give for publicity and also for quid pro quo. I give you this, what will you give? That kind of danam is called, because if I give him something today, it will be useful tomorrow. And the usefulness that is called rajas. And giving with insult, insulting others and giving, 1000 திட்டிட்டு ஒரு 1 ரூபாய் கையில் கொடுக்கும். இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருக்கே, வேலை செய்யக்கூடாது, ஏன்ப்பா why do you beg? அப்படியெல்லாம் 1000 திட்டிட்டு 1 ரூபாய் கொடுக்கறதுக்கு எதுக்கு இவ்வளோ திட்டணும்? This is called tamasadana. And that's where he stops and talks about the Om Tat Sat. That in 5 shlokas he concludes that chapter. He talks about Om, Tat and Sat. Om is the primordial letter. This Om Tat Sat as it is reflects the ultimate reality. All the 3 words. There are 3 words in this. Om represents the beginning of any auspicious thing, anything. And Tat represents that. Tat, as I told you several times in my discourses, Tat when you write in English, T-H-A-T them. Tat means that. Meaning also that. Sat is eternal. Adinala, what we call truth is Satyam and Solvam. Idinala, it doesn't change. Satyam does not change. Asatyam changes. ஏன் நான் முந்தானத்து வரலன்னா யாரும் ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸ் வந்திருக்காங்க வரல, அது போய் நான் இன்னொரு வாட்டி கேட்டால் ஐ வென்ட் டு சம்படிஸ் ஹவுஸ் and சொல்லுவோம். Because there is no consistency in untruth. There is consistency and faithfulness and permanency and eternal nature for Sat. So he says that Sat, Om, Tat, Sat are the 3 components, and Shraddha is more important than Shastra Jnana. Shraddha is more important than Shastra Jnana. Even Shastra Jnana without Shraddha is 0. That's where he concludes, Iti Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Saptadashama Achyaya. Then we come to the most wonderful, most comprehensive, most enlightening, most enriching, most spiritual, most wonderful, compassionate, it reflects the compassion of the Lord on all of us. How beautifully, how wonderfully, Rumba this kind of Vatsalyam Sri Krishna shows on the devotees, the Perumal shows on all of us, is reflected in these 78 verses. Here also he talks about the 3 qualities, because the 3 qualities are the constituents and components of our behavior. Everything that we do is destined, directed, guided, influenced by the 3 qualities. So he talks about, now this question he asks, Shraddha is okay. Shastra Jnanam illanalum Shraddha irundha nalladhu sollitar. Romba santoshapadaru Arjuna. Then his question is, sannyasam perusa, tyagam perusa. What is sannyasam? What is tyagam? He asks, sannyasasya mahabaho tattvamichchami veditam tyagasya cha. I want to know the nature, the quality and the philosophy of sannyasa and tyaga. Are they two different things? Are they same? Tyaga is renunciation. Sannyasa is also renunciation. So what is called tyaga, what is called renunciation? What is the difference between these two? Is there any difference at all? And this is where Sri Krishna tells him, see, there are sorry, I don't want to hear any cell phone messages. Kindly switch them off. Shraddha is important. Now this beautiful structure, the science of Bhagavad Gita, talks about Sattva, Raja, Tama at one level in 14th chapter. And it also talks about Sannyasa and Tyaga. These two words have come several times. If you look at 5th chapter, 2nd sloka, or 9th chapter, 28th sloka, or for example, the 12th chapter, 11th sloka, all talk about the Sannyasa and Tyaga. These terms come very often. And we are at the conclusion of this Bhagavad Gita. So before Krishna becomes normal and Arjuna goes to war, he wants to clarify all his doubts. And the one doubt that is bothering him is, he still has something in his mind. Actually, 11th chapter on the Vishwarupa Sandarsanam Pandina Odane, Sri Krishna said, I am ready for war. Arjuna should have said, I am ready for war. Vishwarupam Partha Piragu innu doubts irukuma. Irukku. Idunala, why? Because, please understand, there is no Krishna today, there is no war, there is no battle today, there is no Arjuna today. And this beautiful science of Bhagavad Gita concludes it with the wonderful sloka, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Pardho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna, at any point of time, there will be only success. That's what Sanjaya concludes. Now, where is Krishna, where is Arjuna now? All of us are Arjunas. All of us live in dilemma and doubt and conflict and confusion every day in and day out. And all of us have a Mahabharata battle within us. And all of these things are clarified explicitly, without confusion. Because the man who clarifies is Jagat Guru. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Vardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. The teacher is not an ordinary teacher. I get emotional because this is given to us on a platter. And our ignorance, our stupidity, that we don't read them, we don't understand them. We have more questions even before study. Because of that, to clarify these wonderful things, Arjuna asks questions on our behalf, even after Vishwarupa Sandarsanam. And so that we should not have any more doubts at the end of the day. At the end of studying the 700 slokas of the Bhagavad Gita, he asks a question, I will come to that at the end. So he asks, Sannyasasya Mahavaho Tattvamichchami. I want to hear the philosophy of what is sannyasa, what is tyaga. Sri Krishna very simply says, very simple, it's a very complicated question, so he gives simple answer. He says, Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasa. Sannyasa means relinquishing the desired things. Desirables, desirous, desired things should be relinquished. Renouncing everything that you have a desire for is called sannyasa. And what is tyaga? Sarva karma phala tyagam, tyaga. Look at this, sarva karma phala tyagam, tyaga. There is nothing you want at all. Everything that you sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanam. That is tyaga. So much soldiers illa, follow upon. So he says, this also divides these things again and again into tamasa, rajasika and sattvika. This niyata karma, you see, all of us have to do something. And those who drop their obligatory things, that you must do things, are called tamasika karma. People, tamasika tyaga. Their tyaga is tamasika tyaga because they don't want to do the obligatory things, for your ritual for your ancestors. Once in a year, you want to eat thrice a day. Give them food once in a year. If you don't do that, that is called tamasika tyaga. You are dropping that karma. Dropping the obligatory karma is called tamasika tyaga. And dropping some things, because it is physical strain, I cannot do this. That kind of a tyaga, dropping of karma, is called rajasika tyaga. And sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva. You have no attachment to the work that you do. You have no attachment either for the work or for the result of the work. That is called sattvika tyaga. He talks about that. And then he says there is no way that people who have a body, all of us who live in a body, so long as there is life in this body, there is no way that you cannot not do at all. You have to do something or the other. And whatever we do, there are three kinds of results that you get out of it. Anishtam, Ishtam and Mishram. So simple in Sanskrit. Anishtam, Ishtam, Mishram. What you like, what you don't like, and a mixture of this. For every action, these are the three possible results. And then there are 5 different components which make you do the work. And there are adhishtanam tadha karta karanancha pradakvidam vividhacha pradakchesta daivam chaivatra panchakam. There are 5 things which make you do things. In other words, such a beautiful science. These Panchabhutas live in us. They provoke us to do the activity. How do they live in us? He says, in the commentary of Shankara and Ramanuja particularly, Ramanuja's commentary is so beautiful here. Because Ramanuja looks at it from the point of view of Vishishtadvaita, for Bhakti. Shankara talks from the angle of Jnana. So both of us, if you look at the summary of what they said, they say, your eye represents Agni. Kannu eriyidanu. Why will it burn? My eyes are burning. So eye represents Agni, ears represent Akash, Shunya, and the tongue represents water. The 5 Panchabhutas eppadi namakulla irukandru solrar. And then the skin represents air because it represents the sense of touch. And then nose represents the earth. See, the smell, when it rains, immediately you smell. The smell is because of the earth that comes. So these 5 elements are embedded in the 5 indriyas. And these are the 5 components which make you work. And there are impulses. There are instruments behind these things. And the instruments are Jnanam, Geyam, Jnata. Jnanam, Geya, Parijnata, Trividha, Karma Chodana. There are 3 things which will provoke you to do the work. One is Jnanam. Jnana means knowledge. Geyam is known. And Jnata is the knower, one who knows. They are dependent on, again, how much you know is dependent on what? Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa. How much, what kind of karma you do is dependent on what? Sattvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. So he talks about what kind of karta you are, what kind of a doer you are. Again represents on Sattvika, Tamasa and Rajasa. So, Niyatam Sangarahitam Araga Dveshata Karma Sattvika. Sangam illame, attachment illame pandra vele Sattvika. Yat kamepsuna sa ahankarena நாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு பாம்போட ஒரு ஷோவோட தம்பமோட பண்றது அகங்காரத்தோட பண்றது ராஜசிகம். மகாத் ஆச்சரத்தை ஒரு delusion. So if I do this, this particular thing, I will get this. Under ஒரு மோகம், adula pandra vela vandu tamasika. And then he says, what is the same thing? People who do it without attachment are called satvika karta. People who do for the attachment and the result and for a particular thing, even yajnas have that. See, when Dasharatha performed Putra Kameshti, does he do it without any results? He does it for a purpose. At the pere Putra Kama Ishti. Kama anna desire. Putra Kama Ishti. Ishti anna ishtam. And the Kamathinaala irukra ishtathinaala edukku putrathukku. So Putra Kamo yajeta, Ardha Kamo yajeta. The Tarkasha Sangrahana Mimamsa talk about who are all the people who will perform and why do they perform. There are people who perform for the sake of rain. If there is no rain in the country, there is starvation, there is famine. Even they may not have the desire, but they are desiring for others. That is Sattvika karma. If you do it for yourself, it is Rajasika karma. If you do the karma to destroy yourself or destroy others, there are people who worship. Nashama Portame. And the mother of karma is Tamasa karma. So he talks about these things. And then he also talks about the buddhi. Why do you do things? On what basis? Your intellect, your buddhi provokes you to do things. So that is also dharmama irukra buddhi, sattvika buddhi. Do's and don'ts theriyame pandrathu rajasika buddhi, panna koodadhu pandrathu tamasika buddhi. So the mother he has classified them. Similarly, he talks about all of us, including the gods, he says, natadasti prithivyam vadini va diveshu va punaha tattvaha prakriti jair muktam trigunaivihi. There is nobody in the universe, including gods, who are devoid of the three gunas. Gunam means, that's why I told you, gunam in Sanskrit is such a beautiful word. Gunam means rope. Actually, gunam literally means rope in Sanskrit. In the gunanda bandhanam pannu. Because it's a rope, it will tie us. It will tie us to our activities. If you have sattvika gunam, that will be sattvika activities. Rajasic gunam, rajasic activities. So you are tied to a particular rope. That's what he says. And then he talks about, now he comes back, because he said something in the 4th chapter about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra and Vaishya. Now he has to clarify here why he said this. And he says, Shamaha, Damaha, Tapaha. Look at these qualities. Your qualities make you a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, not your father. Because you are son of so and so. See, unless you are a doctor yourself, because your father is a doctor, you are not a doctor. You also study medicine, you become a doctor. So if your father is a Brahmin by a particular quality, if those qualities are not there within you, just as your father is a doctor, you are not a doctor, you are not a Brahmin. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or he said, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagachaha. These 4 varnas are created. This is so much misunderstood concept of the Bhagavad. So much misrepresented, misinterpreted, confused, provocatively, fanatically misguided, interpreted aspect of Bhagavad Gita is this. He knows that. That's why he talks about in the 18th chapter again. He says these qualities make a Brahmana, these qualities make a Kshatriya, these qualities make a Vaishya, these qualities make a Shudra. Look at these qualities and see what you belong to. And he says, serenity, Shamaha, self-restraint, Damaha, austerity, Tapaha, Shaucham, purity, Kshanti, forgiveness, Arjavam, straightforwardness, uprightness, Jnanam, Vijnanam, knowledge and realization, Astikyam, belief in God. These are the qualities of a Brahmana. Shamaha, Damaha, Tapaha, Shaucham, Kshantihi, Arjavam, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam. These qualities should be there in a Brahman. Then what are Kshatriya's qualities? Now look at the beauty of Krishna, who is the Guru. Why is he talking about all this Bhagavad Gita in a battlefield? That's it. It's not the place. There is no time. But why does he do it? So you can see when he defines Kshatriya, how he defines. He says, Shauryam, prowess, Tejas, splendor, Kshatriya's qualities, firmness, Dakshyam, Yidhe cha apalayan, not fleeing from the battleground. He is aiming at this sentence particularly at Arjuna because he wants to get away from this place. He says, Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacha Rajyam Sukhani Kinno Rajyana Govinda Kimbhogair Jivitena Va Acharyan Matulan Bhratrun Putran Potran Sadaivacha Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Gandivam Samsrate Astva Atpakchaiva Paridahite. If I touch Gandivam, my body is burning. And these are Acharyan, Matulan, Bhratrun, Putran, Potran, these are all my gurus, my relatives. Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacha Rajyam Sukhani Kinno Rajyana Govinda Kimbhogair Jivitena Va. These are the qualities of a person who wants to run away from the battlefield. Now Arjuna at the end of the 18th chapter, if he is still having that mind, so he wanted to know that, and he says this. He says this for Kshatriya, the qualities are Shauryam, Tejas, Dhruti, Dakshyam, Yuddhe cha Apalayanam. Palayana means running. Apalayana means not running. Danam Ishvara Bhavaha. Look at this. A Kshatriya should have the lordliness in him. Ishvara Bhavaha. I am the king. Under or power. That is Kshatriya. And then Krushihi Gaurakshanam Vanijyam Vaishya. Agriculture, cattle rearing and trade are the qualities of a Vaishya. If you are doing those things, suppose you are a Brahmin, you have a hair cutting salon. How can you call yourself a Brahmin? So these are the qualities that make you, and Paricharyatmakam Shudraha. Service oriented, all of us are in that field. So you are all Shruddha without any exception. Most of us belong to that category. Service people are called Shudraha. If they have the other qualities dominant in them, they may belong to any one of those categories. Why does he say these things? Is because he wanted to tell Arjuna, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Your adherence to your dharma, adherence to the duties ordained by the scriptures on you is Shreyas. That is the best that you can do. There is no option there. See how beautifully Krishna says. He is a psychologist. He tells Arjuna, even if you don't want to do you know your impulse will make you to do? You will do. He says. And the only thing is, when you do, if you think you are doing, then you are destroyed. So beautifully he says, Sahajam Karma Kaunteya. Sahajam karma kauntoya sadoshamapi natyajet. Your destined duty, even if you find it is faulty, you have to follow it and do it. You are a lawyer. You have to protect somebody who might have done something by mistake. And that is not, there are lawyers who will do everything for, murder. A person who murdered also is very innocent in the lawyers can do that. But even if you believe that what I am doing is wrong, if that is your profession, you have to do it. That's what he says. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api natyajet. You should not abandon something. If that is your profession, that is your obligation, that is your destined duty, that is your designated work, you have no option. He says, and then when you do, how should you do your duty? Beautifully he says, how should you do your duty? Endowed with pure intelligence. Whenever you do, whatever you do. Look at these 7 or 8 qualities that he talks about. What kind of duty? Whatever duty you do, this is the mindset that you should have. What are those mindsets? Endowed with pure intellect. Buddhya vishuddhaya yuktah. I tell you the English word and then the Sanskrit word. Controlling self by firmness. Dhrutyatmanan niyamyacha. Relinquishing sound and other objects. When you are doing something, don't be distracted by anything. So shabdadin vishayan tyaktva. Abandoning attachment and hatred. Ragadvesha udaschacha. Dwelling in solitude. When you do whatever you do. See, if you are writing some important letter, don't you want solitude? You want to sit alone, undisturbed. So whatever you do, that solitude, that ekantam is important. That's why it is a vivikta sevi. And eating little, that is another wonderful quality for all of us. Eating little. See, there are two ways of eating. How much we can eat is another, how much we should is another. He says eating little is a wonderful quality for doing work. You eat more, you have no mind, no inclination to work. So he says laghu ashi. Ashanamanna sapat. And then speech, body and mind subdued. When you are working, subdue your speech, body and mind. Yatavakaya manasaha. And always engaged in meditation, dhyana yoga paranityam, and concentrate. Dispassionate, vairagyam samapashritaha. Abandoning ego. Under the vidunga, please. This is one wonderful thing that all of us can easily do. If there is something very good, you claim the results for it. Something very bad, it would not have gone like this. So if there is a failure, you attribute the result to somebody. If there is success, it is all mine. So that he says, ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham, vimuchya. Drop these things. Nirmamaha, shantaha, with no attachment to yourself and with a kind of tranquility and bliss, peacefulness. Nirmamaha, shantaha. If you do like that, what happens? He says, Brahma bhuya. You become Brahman yourself. He says, and then he asks, look at this. Bhagavad Gita is coming to the end. We are in the 54th sloka. We have 4 more slokas. Doesn't take more than 5-10 minutes. Madbhakta halabhate parama. If you do like this, what happens? You will reach me. That's what he said. Do your duty like this. He is not asking us to carry loads. He is asking us, do your duty with these qualities. And by doing with these qualities, you will reach me. And then, tato mam tattvata jnatva vichate tadanantaram. After you reach me, you will reach further and will not come back again. He says. And if you do, adhichet, chet means in Sanskrit, chet is if, if. Adhichet, uruvela, from ahankarat nasrashyasi. If you don't listen to me, he is warning all of us. Ahankarat nasrashyasi. If you don't listen to me because of ego, vinamkshyasi. Fully, completely, totally you will be destroyed. Because if you think I will not do, I will not fight, you have no option, you will fight. The only difference is that you will fight with these qualities or you will fight subject to whatever happens, as a compulsion. When you do a thing, if you are supposed to do a thing and if you have no option left, do the things with these qualities. And he says, therefore, do it and take refuge in me. It's a very beautiful thing. When you have no option, whether you have option, swadharme nidhanam treyam paradharmo bhayavaha. Do your duty destined. And if there is flaw in it, if there is defective, effective or defective, give it to me, I will take it. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha mayaji mam namaskur. He gives us so much of assurance. Do everything everything and leave everything to me, I'll take care. And then he also says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma cha. Sarvadharman parityajya. Every activity. You do the activity, but do it as an instrument. Nimittavatram bhava savyasacha. As an instrument. You take a forceps and remove the valve on the cooker or something. You are removing and the forceps is removed. Forceps is removed, that's an instrument. So you are an instrument in his hand. So do the work as destined by him. And then he tells you. He comes to the end. Says, this is the most secret sign that I have ever told anybody. And please don't give it to useless people. He says that. Yaimam paramam guhyam mad bhaktesh abhidhasyate bhaktim mai param krutva mameva yashyati asamshayaha. Those who listen to this, those who read this, those who adhere to this, those who follow this, even partially, a fraction of this, mameshyati, they will reach me. Those who listen to this Gita reach me. And none is more dear to me than a person who speaks about Bhagavad Gita. None is more dear to me. Shraddhavan anasuyascha sriniyadapiyo naraha, with concentration, with no jealousy, with no malice, with no preconceived notions about this is, I don't understand this, or I don't know whether this is 7:30 சாரி வந்து பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் கொடுக்குறாருங்க, அப்புறம் போயிட்டு வரலாம்னா அந்த நோக்கத்தோடு இல்லாமல் ஒரு ஸ்ரத்தையோட வந்தேன். He says, prapniyat punya karmana, they will reach the ultimate reality. And he then asks, kachideta shrutam partha, and he says, idam te na atapaskaya, tapasilladavanke. Tapasana, meditation, concentration, dedication, devotion, determination, inclination, interest. Na atapaskaya, na abhaktaya kadachana. Abhakta, bhakti illadavanke, tapassi illadavanke. Na cha achrushashave. He will be here physically, but his ears are here, but he is not hearing this. So those who don't listen to this, don't give it to them. Never give it to those devoid of austerities and devotion. Do not render service to others. Do not want to listen. Who criticize me. He also says, Enna Krishna, Enna Vapanilkar. The Mother Pesra, there are so many people who can talk like that. So he says, Nachamam yo abhyasuyate. Those who have asuya for me, abhyasuyate, who are jealous of me, criticize me, for them please don't give this wonderful scripture. This is not meant for them. This is meant for you people. You listen to this. And those who listen to this with concentration will attain me. Those who talk about this, read this, achieve the punyam, the phalam of reaching the ultimate reality. And he says, after all this he asked him one question. Now all this while, Arjuna asked a question. Krishna did not ask question. Now Krishna asked one question. Kachideta shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa. You have heard this with ekagrata, concentration, chetas mind. With a lot of concentration, you have heard this wonderful Bhagavad Gita. Kachit ajnana samoha, in the ajnanam, in the moham idella. Pranashtaste dhananjaya. Is it destroyed? Is it there still? Are you devoid of this ajnana and illusion that you have come with in the beginning of the first chapter called the Arjuna Vishada Yoga? You see, look at the answer of Arjuna. He says, wonderful answer. He says, Nasto Maha. First sentence. Nasto Maha. You know, Maha Nashtamat. My Maham is gone. my delusion, my illusion is gone. Smritihi labdhva, I regained my consciousness, I regained my memory. Tvat prasadena mayachita. Because of your prasadam, Achyuta, Achyuta is one who cannot be touched. Achyuta. I have been able to see your thought. I am your friend. I am your disciple. You have showered your compassion on me. So, Tvat prasadena mayachita nasto maha smritir labdhva titosmi. I am now firm. Titosmi. Gata sandeha. My sandeha. My doubts are gata, gone. I told you. The etymology is the word sandeha. Deham means body. Sandeha means that which envelops the body. So long as we have body, we have 100 questions, 100 doubts. Now my questions, my doubts, my conflict, my dilemma is gone. My illusion is gone. And he says, Karishye vachanam tava. He says, he assures Arjuna, Krishna, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do whatever you said. And then he says, when he says that, Sanjaya was listening to all this out of a wonderful Porojanna Sukrata. See, nobody who has had the transmission and relay of this Bhagavad Gita in front of them, Sanjaya had that fortune. And it is because of Vyasa that he was given this vision to look at and see what's happening in the war. Because he wanted Vyasa's Dhritarashtra is there, this blind man. So he wanted him to be narrated this entire story, what is happening. So he has given, because he cannot see, he said, I will give this power of seeing to Sanjaya, and Sanjaya will relate it to you. So Sanjaya said, what he said, Rajan, he is calling Dhritarashtra, hey Rajan, samsritya samvadamidam adbhutam keshavarjunayoh punyam hrishyami muhurmuhu. See, my hair is rising million times. Every time I think of what happened in this particular 18 chapters, what Krishna told Arjuna. And this Vasudeva Arjunayoh samvadam. Vasudeva and Arjunayoh samvadam, that dialogue, I have heard the most secret yoga. And from the Yogeshwara himself. It is not a second or third or a fourth person interpretation. It is directly from Krishna. And I was able to see everything directly, whatever is happening. So I am thrilled. Muhurmuhu. Repeatedly, the minute I think of whatever happened all these days, all these hours, few hours it was. We have taken it for 7-8 months. There are people, of course, there is necessity to talk about each chapter of the Bhagavad Gita also for a month. But this happened in that particular period. So he concludes this with wonderful sloka. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Tirmama. Where there is Yogeshwara Krishna, where there is the archer with his bow and arrow, Arjuna, Tatra Sri Vijayaha Bhuti. There will be Sri, there will be auspiciousness, there is victory, there is wealth, there is richness, there is everything there. Dhruvani Tirmama. This is my firm conviction. And I told you a long time ago, the Sanskrit tradition of giving a scripture is the first sentence of this scripture, and the first word and the last word of the scripture will give you the summary of entire book. This book begins with Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre and ends with Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Dharma is the first word, Mama is the last word. Dharma, Mama, Mama Dharma. My duty. It is a book that will tell you your duty. But that is the wonderful nature of Bhagavad Gita. We need to conclude this with Gita Mahatyam. I am myself thrilled as I am Sanjaya. I can perceive what happened. I can feel that. I am sure some of you feel it. Because it's not a scripture that is just an ordinary scripture. It is not a scripture that is given by an ordinary man to another ordinary man. And please understand, this is not a scripture for people retired sitting in easy chairs to read the book. For them also, but it is meant for a warrior in the battlefield. Who, after listening to this, there are people who say, "Ipalla sir, Bhagavad Gita, sir, time sir." No time. Who told you there is time? How do you know there is time? So this is a scripture meant for people who are in dilemma and confusion, in doubt and conflict, in an oscillating mind, but yet have a devotion and faith in God. So for all of us, this is a boon, this is a gift. So Gita Shastramidam Punyam ya patet pretappuman Vishnu padam avapnoti. If you study this, you will get Vishnu padam avapnoti. You will reach the lotus feet, abode. Actually, padam means abode there. Vaikuntha. Gita-adhyayana shastra chilascha pranayama parascha cha naiva santi papani purvajanma kritani cha. It will destroy your papas performed earlier births as well. Of course it does of this birth. And if you have an accumulated sin, even that is destroyed. Because you know why? Ekam Shastra. Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devaha. Devaki Putra Eva. Eko Mantraha. Tasya Namani Yani. Karma api ekam. Tasya Devasya Seva. There is only one scripture, that is Gita. There is only one God, that is Krishna. There is only one mantra, any name of it. And there is only one karma, to serve Him, to worship Him, to have devotion in Him. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayati samarpayami yadakshara bhrashtam मात्राहीनं च यत् भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोस्तुते। मंगलम कौशलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणात्मने चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मंगलम श्रेयःकान्ताय कल्याणनिधये निधेयर्थिनः श्री वेंकट निवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाशासनपदैः मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतयास्तु मंगलम्। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः सोमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम्। सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।